Oh, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, we live. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, we live. Yes, we live. Yes, we live. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know about no Temptations. Oh, no. Testing, testing. You gonna say something here? Okay, I can hear myself. Had to make sure y'all can hear me real quick. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Yes, 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 yes. We got some things to say. Check the. All right. So the reason I didn't live stream, man, how y'all doing? How was your weekend? How was your Friday? How was your Friday? How was your weekend? How was it? How was it? Now, speaking on behalf, you know what we do. We talk about how you can save money in college, start at a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year, and maximize your return on investment and jumpstart your life early by starting at 2-year college. I had to start with that. And your boy don't be caring, y'all. Here, Angel, we don't be caring. Lips be chapped, I don't be caring. I just don't. It's too much going on. I don't be caring right now. But we didn't live stream Friday because military was driving to Valduki, 4 hour drive. Then we had to drive back on Tuesday. Your boy was tired, and we here on Wednesday. So yes, I have not slept in, and I don't know how long. And it's looking like I'm not going to get to sleep in until Sunday. Charge it to the game, as we used to say in the day. Charge it to the game. All right. So with that being said, let's get our disclaimer because we got some stuff to talk about. Where is it? Yeah, we got a few things to talk about. We might have to, since my lung getting back, I'm getting right. I'm getting right. Feel like I'm getting right. Excuse me. Disclaimer. Let's see. Not that screen. Sorry, it won't slide to the other screen. There we go. Yes, I'm aware it probably got dark on y'all side. Share screen. Yeah. All right. Remember, disclaimer. I am not representing any institution as a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Remember, I'm not representing any institution when talking about a college. We are only speaking from our experience. We are covering topics on how you can save money in college. And some of these topics we learn ourselves. Some of these topics we are aware that, hey, people specialize in this as a job. And make sure you just do your research when you hear from us. Hopefully you expand on it. If you feel like it doesn't apply to you, cool. But remember, our main goal is for you to start at a 2-year, live off campus, don't get a meal plan, do the same thing at a 4-year under articulation agreement, and maximize your return on investment in college. And it's so simple because we lived it and we did it. With all that being said, dual enrollment wars are on the rise. According to Chronicles Higher Education, that is what they're saying. I don't know how true this is. Is it a way to change that screen so I don't have to keep like no? Okay, I just stopped sharing. Dual enrollment wars. Never heard of that at all. Never heard of a dual enrollment war. It's gonna be an interesting read for us. I got it pulled up. Yes. Give me a few seconds, guys. I don't even think I have a video. You know, I love showing videos if we can. So just got it. All right. Dual enrollment wars are coming fast. So that is not what I'm looking for. So according to, let me see. Dual enrollment. I thought it would have showed up on here. I guess not, guys. It's not showing on that. It'd be so interesting where I be, because sometimes I'll be reading. Oh, no, I got it from the Chronicles. I'm surprised it didn't show. But y'all can see it. So dual enrollment wars are coming. Four-year colleges are muscling into community college territory. And so, wait. Before I do that, I said I wanted to start doing this. So we get updates from SHIELD every day about national and state policies and things of that nature. And it's always good to know the policy update. So today March the 11th. Today is March the 11th. So from a national policy, right now we got report that federal student loans education needs to address gaps in servicer oversight. That's a national policy update by SHIELD. Report a nation at risk to a nation at work. The case for a national talent strategy. That's an update. It's a bipartisan policy center. Then we got federal oversight protects student borrowers. Some of it has stopped. A watchdog says. That's by NPR. Y'all love NPR, right? For my left people out there. The bipartisan appeal of growing talent amid the AI boom. Okay. That's you in the what's the name? Okay. Just making sure. I felt special for a little bit. we got our one fan in there. Shout out to my one fan. All right, and then we got exploring state post-secondary policy priorities of 2026. That is important. That might have to cut the line on some stuff. Exploring state post-secondary policy priorities of 2026. For-profit colleges, once accused of duping students, hope to rebound under Trump. Behind ideological attacks on higher ed, surprising bipartisan reforms are happening. Now more than ever, this is another one. Now more than ever, Democrats support higher education reform. Despite affordability fears, net tuition price continues to trend downward. Education department layoffs leave scars behind the scenes. Colleges are finally confronting their outcomes data. The administration's efforts to stunt minority serving institutions. That's crazy. MSIs, man. Come on now. Leave the MSIs alone. And then we got some state policies we're going to go over, but let's get back to the department. Let's get back to dual enrollment wars. So I was interested in this by Scott Carlson. Shout out to him. He wrote this on March 4th. It's about dual enrollment wars. So if you don't know what DE is, dual enrollment out there for my people who don't know is where you can be a high school student and you can still, you can be a high school student and take college classes pretty much in a short way. Where can you take them? That depends on your high school, your county of your high school, all that good nature, right? And so what it does, it allows you to take those classes, and the difference from an AP class, just saying, is that at least unless they changed it, I'm not in high school. I don't really know many K-12 educators yet. But AP version, when you take an AP class or like IBM, I believe in some places called IBM, AP, different places call different things, but you get what I'm saying, madness. Some places don't call it madness students. But you have to take like an AP course. You take the course, blah, blah, blah. At the end, you have to score a certain score at the end. But The difference between being dual enrolled is you just taking the actual college class as a high school student. So they're saying four-year colleges are trying to muscle their way in. This is interesting. Oh, this is cool. You can listen to this article. I kind of want to try it. But I'm not going to do it. So, who are we looking at first? As the president of a small college in the Rust Belt, I don't know who this is, Jill Murray feels the crush of enrollment pressures. Her institution, Lackawanna College, literally that's what it's called, Lackawanna College, has a plan to ease them. Okay. It's starting the pipeline earlier by tapping into Pennsylvania's 502 school districts. Lackawanna dual enrollment system is a recruitment tool. Okay. It offers college level courses at $100 per credit hour. That is crazy. An 80% discount to about 3,000 high school students, giving them some sense of what majors and career tracks they might pursue at the college. And then in quotation, so many students have no idea what's out there. Murray said, Murray. I'm thinking like off the Joker movie, like Murray. But Murray, I think it's Murray. I'm gonna just say Murray. Murray says, we have partnerships with over 80 school districts and growing, and we are going after all 502 if we can figure that out. So in Pennsylvania, parents pay tuition for dual enrollment courses. That's interesting because in the state of Georgia, it's completely free because the state covers it. But it's like a certain amount of classes you could take as a DE in Georgia because I'm from Georgia. But that's interesting to know that Pennsylvania, you have to pay a certain amount of money, but $100 per credit hour ain't bad. That's what I paid when I was at my 2-year college. So credits earned in high school transfer to Lackawanna undergraduate program, which eases the transfer process and further enhances the program appeal. Now, guys, I always talk about that. I always talk about why you should make sure your credits transfer, because if your credits don't transfer, pretty much you're going to have to take those classes over, or you're going to be constantly trying to figure out what school is going to take it. And the way this game works is it could weigh enough, truthfully. Oh, y'all, my lung hurting a little bit. No, we good. It's just hurting because I'm sitting up. But it's chilling right now. So, what I was saying. So, your credits could, like, they could weigh enough. Like, it could be no different. Like that math you took at that 2-year, because some people could take, some students in high school could take dual enrollment classes at a 2-year or 4-year, but for some reason, I really cannot explain it. I don't know what the justification would be. For some reason, a school can say, we don't want to take your math, we don't want to take your English. You are going to have to retake that class. And it can have been literally the same or same content, same model, like nothing really different. A math class is a math class, right? So that's what it helps. That's what they mean by like easing that transfer process. And I get it. I'm here with you. So right here it says dual enrollment, sometimes called concurrent enrollment, among other names, is traditionally associated with community colleges, right? Like I said, it says which can draw half or more of their enrollment from high schools. Now, a lot of parents in the past I talked to, they think this is like a shortcut to like their kid do dual enrollment, then they go to a big university and they're not going to get student loan debt. You have to do some math because the average bachelor's degree, usually you need 120 credit hours to get a bachelor's usually. Now, every bachelor's is different, but if you was going to get an associate's degree, I believe it's only like 60 credit hours to get your associate's degree. It's literally in half. If you need 120 for bachelor's, you need 60 for associates. It's like basic math. And so a lot of parents and students think they're skipping the line when they do dual enrollment. They are saving a lot of time, don't get me wrong. But in the longer game, you still could end up getting burned by student loans if you don't know what you're doing, like staying off campus and not getting the meal plan. But a lot of people frown up at me when I talk about this. They make it seem like it's impossible. Like I said, I'm from poverty or low income, so I don't think it's impossible. I think you just need some focus and discipline. That's all. But let's keep going. I want to hear about why the 4 years are coming into play. So I already know about the 2 years coming in, right? 2 years been dominating this. 2 years have been dominating dual enrollment for a while. Like, it's not even a secret. So why are 4 years trying to come in? That's what we want to know. So right here it says, if other colleges want to do it, I say get to it, jump in, okay? In Pennsylvania, which will see steep declines in high school graduates over the next 15 years. That's interesting right now. Let's read that. So in Pennsylvania, which will see steep declines in high school graduates over the next 15 years, Lackawanna is one of the more active four-year colleges enrolling high school students. So I'm going to look up Lackawanna real quick. Let me look that up right quick. I never heard of Lackawanna. You heard of Lackawanna, Al? I ain't never heard of Lackawanna either. So Lackawanna is literally called Lackawanna College. I think this is it. It's a private college in something, Pennsylvania. Lackawanna is a private college in Scranton, Pennsylvania, United States. It also has satellite centers in Halley, Hazleton, Sunbury, Towanda, Tuckahannock. Y'all don't get me because I'm butchering these names probably. But charge it to the game. They got some Noble alumni. Who are they Noble alumni? Jaquan Brisker. They must be known for football because nothing but football players are coming up. So that's interesting. So Lackawanna is one of the more active four-year colleges enrolling high school students using a program called Level Up to offer defined pathways in areas like business, criminal justice, healthcare, cybersecurity, culinary arts, and law enforcement. Approximately 120 students enroll in Level Up every year, and roughly 30 to 40% of them matriculate. If I said that right, matriculate. Is it a matriculate or matriculate? I think it's matriculate though. Huh? Matriculate. You see that? Here we go with these pronunciations again.
Matriculate.
Hold on.
Matriculate.
Yes, matriculate. As you can see, being enrolled at a college or university. So 30 to 40% of them matriculate to Lackawanna afterwards, perhaps helped by the offer of a scholarship equal to the amount they paid for their courses in high school. That's a good little deal. If you come to us after doing dual enrollment or come to us after, I'm assuming after dual enrollment, you could get the same price you were being charged as a dual enrollment student. That is amazing because this school is private, right? This is a private college. So a private college, whew, you already know how much you're paying for the year. If you've been rocking with us, private colleges ain't cutting corners. You're gonna pay. So as we keep going, it says students also receive full support services, including advising, tutoring. Don't take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. That tutoring, do not take that for granted, guys. Students, so they saying that the high school students get advising, tutoring, wellness services, and mental health. A lot of mental health has been coming up in colleges lately. And I remember, well, when I was at my 2 year, we didn't really have mental health services at the time. My 2 years better now, but at the time they didn't have it. At my 4 year, I think they had mental health services. I didn't really see too much of it, but now I'm reading these articles, or you can say articles, blogs on college and stuff, and working in it. A lot of mental health is such a big thing now, and I can only say shout out to social media for that. And so they said it's an expensive model, Murray acknowledges, but one that eases the intimidating transition to college, and she says improves the retention rate significantly. Yeah, if you get a early head start, you get used to college early, and you're more likely to kind of stay in because you already got a head start. I did this when I was younger. I definitely could do this when I'm older. I see that. So right here, now we get into the meat and potatoes that I like. But as both 2- and 4-year institutions are squeezed for tuition revenue, dual enrollment sets up a competitive environment that may have downsides for students and community colleges. So they're saying that somebody named Landon Pierce, sound like we're gonna hear that name a lot through the rest of this. He served 7 years as a vice chancellor for academic and student affairs for Colorado Community College System. And we got a comment from Alice Marie. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. I had mental health services at my 4-year. I didn't have to use it, but I'm pretty sure it's built into the fees. Yeah, usually it's in the fees. You're paying for, like, use your resources. That's another thing. If you're paying for it at the school, it's kind of like when you go, I don't know about y'all, but if you go to the hospital, you go to the doctor. Since I was recently in the doctor, I'm using that example. Hey, you take them napkins home. Take that milk home. They're giving you food. Take it home. You paid for it. Shoot, they're gonna send you a $2,000, $4,000 bill anyway. You might as well take it home. Shoot, I used to those students at Valdosta State. Man, I remember one time I used to eat there because when you're a staff member, you can go eat at the. I used to laugh at that because I'm like, they paying all this money and I could eat in here for like $7. Like I could eat a buffet at a college for $7 when I worked at Valdosta State University. Shout out to them. I used to tell the students though, well, I ain't tell them, I seen them, and then they'll have like 3 or 4 plates, taking it back to the dorm. They were taking them back to the dorm. Those students had about 4 or 5 places at Valdosta State. They weren't playing, man. They were not playing. I don't blame them. That's smart because you can eat off that food for the rest of the week, especially if you paying all that money. I would have been taking, man. I said I can't even say nothing. That's the way to do it. So this person named Lyndon Pierce served 7 years as vice chancellor. Subway, Lord, we had Subway on the hill when I was in high school. Part of the only green spot in the food desert. And then created, so right here is saying that vice chancellor for the student affairs, for academic and student affairs for the Colorado's community college system, where he oversaw its concurrent enrollment program, created in 2009. Bro, 2009? Y'all know what I was doing in 2009? Y'all know what I was doing in 2009? I was in freaking elementary school. It's crazy. I'm talking about some 2009. Man, that's almost 20 years ago now. So as they keep going, they say the cost of courses is covered by the state, and the law guarantees that students can transfer their credits to any Colorado institution. Oh, Bueno in Colorado. Shout out to Colorado. You were barely born in 2000. Oh my goodness. Leave me alone, Alex Marie. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So I like that. They saying that the Colorado's community college system, where he oversaw a concurrent enrollment program, where it was created in 2009 with a goal of enrolling more underrepresented students at 2-year institutions. The cost of courses is covered by the state, like in Georgia, and the law guarantees that students can transfer their credits to any Colorado institution. That is better than, I don't know, I think that's better than Georgia, man. Because Georgia, we got the same thing a little bit. Of course, you got to see the details, but at least in Georgia, you can take all your gen ed, whichever that the TCSG and the USG have in partnership. You can take those gen eds directly to, I believe, any USG institution. Usually, I believe. But they're saying that, man, we got to see details on that. But Colorado, that's interesting. So they're going to Red Rocks Community College. They talking about a marketing tool that doesn't really have much to do with us. Let's keep going. They're talking about marketing tool. This is interesting. Sometimes the students don't even know that they actually have credit at Red Rocks. Red Rocks. So some of it is just simply an awareness campaign, says Prius, who became the community college president in 2024. It is about awareness. That's why I'm so big on this channel. And then I'm gonna go through it a little bit. I'm gonna do some scanning real quick through and go to the next topic. A lot of this is about awareness. Everything that I'm saying, and hopefully y'all play this and y'all play me like the new J. Cole. None of this is new, what I'm saying. Everything that I'm saying right now is not new. It's just, it hasn't been emphasized to you. Like, you going to a 2-year college and bridging to a 4-year is kind of like you did it luckily. Like I did it luckily. But while I was in the midst of it, I was really wondering why my peers wasn't getting the same advantages as me. And so don't take it as luck or coincidence that you didn't get student loans while you was in college. I don't believe in coincidences, if I said it right. You have to like really pay attention to things in life. So I found that interesting. That it's just, all I'm saying is what you should be doing. Like this should be the normal. But remember, nothing in this country right now is really normal. We have to do everything. We have to create these new ways to freaking get ahead, be comfortable in the United States. This channel is going to be limited because I'm only focusing on the United States right now. And so I just hope you play it for the people in the back. I really do. I hope you play it for the people in the back because, hey, what's my title? What's my title on this? Did they get my title wrong? Let me find out. Let me find out that you got my title wrong. YouTube, not YouTube, but I think you got it right. I'll check it later. So they said community college also battle persistent stigma. Oh, where's that? I definitely want to get into that. Let me know when y'all see that. It probably was back at the top. We probably skimmed through it. But yeah, community colleges also battle persistent stigma. Let me see if I can find that right quick. There you go, right there, yeah. Yeah, it was right. No, actually it was below. Yeah, community colleges also battle persistent stigma. Prius encounters resistance from high school counselors and parents who believe community college credits don't look good. Even though those credits are guaranteed to transfer within Colorado's public system, Prius has even seen that bias in his own home. His daughter's high school does not participate in concurrent enrollment because it is already designated as an international bachelorette high school. Her chemistry teacher discouraged her from taking courses at RRCC, telling her she shouldn't attend any community college. His own wife has said that their daughter will not attend a community college. So that's a dinner table conversation, he says, really. But when community colleges have access only, to students, not parents, teachers, and counselors, the message sometimes doesn't get through. He is not lying. That is literally why this channel doesn't generate. This is why we get the door shut in our face a lot of times when we're trying to get into high schools, because I'm not going to the schools. I'm gonna be real with you. This has nothing to do with being black. This has nothing to do with being white. This has nothing to do with any race, DI, whatever. This is everybody shutting the door on us. I'm gonna be real with you, because people, I'm not talking about UGA. I'm not talking about freaking Yale. I'm not talking about HBCU. If they don't hear those big names, they are closing the door on me. And that's 100 or 100. That is the truth. They are closing the door. I kind of want to end it right there because, like, bruh, like, play it back. He is not telling no story. Who is this guy? Now I got to Google him because I love him. He hit it on the nail. I'm probably going to find him on LinkedIn later. It's okay. I know his name is like Prius, but he's telling the truth. They're biased. And let's see what he keeps saying, or what he did say. Lord. And that's where, so right here he said, we have got to figure out a strategy for how we get to those three groups of people, because that is where the decisions are made. Yeah, that's where the decisions are made. While many colleges adopt dual enrollment programs as a recruiting tool, many also see it as a way to fulfill their missions and improve access to higher education. That's why I started speaking on behalf. It's a way for you to access higher education. Access, that word, access. It's such a small word. Oh, y'all can't see me highlight? Hold on. It's such a small word, but they being for real about that. That's like access. Like, a lot of students feel like if I don't get into, once again, these prestige institutions, these schools that I see on March Madness, these schools that I see on the college football playoffs, I can't go to college. So they just sit out and say, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they do after that if they don't get in. They might go military. They might, I don't know. But a lot of them, they look down on the community college, man. It's crazy because community colleges, once again, like, I documented my story though. Actually, I still got stuff that I never posted about when I was at my 2-year college, and the camera is looking ugly, and and where I was staying at. Like, I still haven't gained the confidence to post that stuff yet. And so the access, man, it's the access. That's the way you can get into your dream 4-year school. And that's a way for you if you want to get your master's and go to Ivy. You can do it all in one take. Like, if you want to go HBCU, then go Ivy, you can do a 2-year, then 4-year. Remember, I always tell you that you need to know, like, if you know your dream 4-year, you need to make sure your 4-year has an articulation agreement with that 2-year. So you need to go to that 2-year, then bridge to that 4-year. And then when you bridge to your 4-year, wherever that 4-year is, then you need to know, like, hey, do I want to take it up a notch when I go to a graduate program? And does this graduate program provide me a great return on investment? Like, does it? Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And then they haven't really spoke about, they probably do get into the 4 years, but it's not like what I thought it would be. I could be wrong, but y'all know we can't spend too much time on topics, because then it's like we talk about one topic the whole time. We just hit our first 30 minutes. If you made it that far. And so let's keep going. So I'm gonna start sharing that real quick. Let's see. What else we got on here? Gotta hydrate. My favorite topic. I got that up right now, I think. But it was more in that article, by the way. It was more in that article. Shout out to Scott Carson. It was more in that article, but we had to move on to the next segment that I feel like is going to be helpful for kids, parents, and guidance counselors. So let me see. So, is college becoming less affordable? Yes. In a short, concise way, yes. I was having a conversation with a very intelligent person about higher ed, and simply it's like the states defund. The reason why I asked the question to test the waters, and like universities are becoming more expensive because they are defunding, like the states are defunding the colleges or the universities, right? Or higher education to be exact. They're defunding higher education. So when you defund higher education, and like what that means is like making it able for you to go to school free. Um Remember, we talk about how that makes the school raise their prices, because if they're getting less money from the state, because it's a state agency most of the time, if they're getting money from the state, if they're getting less money from the state, they have to raise their prices, their tuition per credit hour. I am aware of that. It's like, well, if they're paying less money, then how are we going to be able to afford college? Because they're, I'm talking like, if people ask me this question, they're like, the state is paying higher education, like for students to go to school free or could go to school for cheaper. They're taking money away. But the way they're doing it, I don't know. I just feel like right now in this time is that it's going to keep getting higher unless you have like a pivot, like tuition freeze, an executive tuition freeze from like the president, or executive tuition freeze from the Department of Education, whoever has that power. Just having a tuition freeze and giving like higher education like 1 to 5% bumps, slowly increments reinvested back into colleges, because I feel like that could happen where kids can start seeing a big difference in like, okay, now tuition is getting a little more affordable. But remember, depending on the school you go to, I believe universities are not that expensive. Some are expensive in undergraduate. Some schools are like, it's weird. They can be cheaper in grad school, depending what type of grad school you go to and the school you go to. It's like you got to find the right deal. Like the grad school could be cheaper than the undergrad. It's crazy. And then remember, if you stay on campus and get a meal plan, it's only gonna make it worse. So is college becoming less affordable? In my opinion, yes. So this is written by Philip Levine, March 9th. This is a research article. This is by Brookings. I never heard of Brookings exactly. So I'm gonna skim through and see if they have their citations at the bottom. They have links, but I just want to see something right quick. Usually, he is a non-resident senior fellow, Economic Studies, Center for Economic Security and Opportunity. He's on ITS. A lot of higher ed professionals are on ITS. All right, he has a lot in here. So, do you think we're going to go through all that? If you stay long enough and give me a like, man, like the channel, man, like the channel. Stop it. You know you're trying to save money in college. Stop it. Stop it. You're hurting us out here. Just stop it. Just cut it. You need to cut it. You know you need to save money in college. You know you need to figure it out. You need to watch us. You need to. You hurted this community by not doing yourself a justice and saving money in college so you can start your life. You hurt, man. Don't do that. You hurt my feelings now. I'm just playing. So you are really hurting my feelings. But introduction. So affordability has recently emerged as one of the central economic and political issues in the United States. Affordability. It seems like nothing is affordable, right? Medical, college, freaking cars, just everything, groceries, right? I feel like the whole world is just coming down on your head. So they have a polling data suggests that many Americans feel that core components of a middle-class lifestyle have become increasingly out of reach. Ain't no such thing as middle class. That's what I've been wanting to say. I've been calling it middle income, something else. Man, ain't no such thing as middle class. You either low or you high. That's it. And so a college education is one of those components. Indeed, between 1990 and 2024, The prices of many items have increased faster than median earnings, including housing costs. Remember, if you stay away from housing, get you some roommates, live off campus, you already gonna dodge this. This is why I did my research on in graduate school, but I guess I'm not respected for my research. So, including housing, healthcare, and gasoline. Gasoline is a little bit, especially if you get a car that ain't good on gas. Well, what does the median mean then? Oh Lord, Alice Murray, why you put me on the spot like that? Why does that even have to do with what does that have to do with anything right now, JK? So let me read the context of it. Indeed, between 1990 and 2024, the prices of many items have increased faster than median earnings. And when they say median earnings, so you said there's no middle class. It ain't no middle class. It ain't no middle class. They might say it's a middle class, it ain't. But when they say median earnings, like whatever your average earnings or your median earnings, they're saying that that's getting outpaced by what? What's outpaced? Yeah, they're just saying things in general have outpaced your earnings. So, like, if you wanted to go to college and at first you had a good job, but now college went up, you don't got a good job no more, depending on what you make. So, Alison Reed said, I beg to differ. I don't think there's no middle class. I really don't. You're trying to get us off topic, Alice Marie. So, but the item whose price has risen the most is college tuition. Huh. Presumably, that contributes to American views that education is the least affordable, but college price statistics and the public perception of college prices are often based on the sticker price. And remember, if you go based off the sticker price, I genuinely don't look at we look at the sticker. I don't think we look at the sticker price. The sticker price is like something like they do with the net calculator and all that. We go on the school website, as you know, at the end of our live screens. But since we've been healing, I haven't been doing those college review breakdowns. We go at the end of a video, we go look at the school website, and then we actually like look at their chart, their price tuition per credit hour chart, and see like how much is the tuition before you get financial aid, before you get scholarship money. Because you need to be aware, like, if all that gets taken away from you and all you got is your money from your job, can you afford this school if you're only using the money that you make from your job? Why do I say that? Because worst scenario, only you could depend on you sometimes. Now, if you do have financial aid, scholarships, and all these other things to help you pay for school, it's better. I'm not saying don't use it, but it's better. I did this strategy personally with just money, my own money, and the financial aid money. But you need to know how to budget the money that you're getting. You can have, like I say, you can have $100,000 in scholarship money. It's just like what you make. You can have $100,000 in scholarship money. But if you go to a school that's $400,000, which is possible, or $500,000, which is possible, then your scholarship money was worthless, essentially. It was worthless. So let's talk it out. Like a song. I don't think it's a song called Let's Talk It Out, but sticker price. It says the sticker price represents the maximum that a student can pay. The net price, yeah, like I said, I believe it was the net price. The net price is what matters. That is the sticker price minus scholarships and grants. As we just said, I didn't even read that, but that's usually that's how you should go about it. That students do not have to repay. Few students actually pay the full sticker price. That is true. Students rarely do, but I feel like they kind of mislead you with that, because depending on, every student is different depending on how much a student gets. So if a student is thinking, like, it's all about perspective and what was really going on. Like, if a student is like, I'm gonna get financial aid and they qualify for whatever amount, and what the school offer, because there's so many. The school can give you merit scholarships and stuff. But imagine being a student, because I've been there. Imagine being a student, because let me tell you, I had a 3-point. I transferred in to my 4-year with I transferred in with like a 3-point. I got go to my LinkedIn. I transferred in with like a 3.6, 3.7 to my 4-year. I didn't get no merit scholarships. All I had was financial aid, Pell, and Hope. That's why I'm like, imagine being a student, think you're finna get all these merit scholarships, you're finna get all these other little scholarship grants and stuff, and all you got is your financial aid in your secondary, as I like to call it. I like to call it a secondary. Like, if you're in a different state watching me right now, y'all probably don't call it Hope Grant or Hope Scholarship. Y'all call it something else. And so just keep that in mind, because it ain't guaranteed. And all it take is one person to get in office, 2 or 3 or an administration, it don't matter if it's Democrat or Republican, to take it away, to take something away, and you was like really dependent on that. And I just saw something on LinkedIn that I have to show you all. If you depend on stuff like that, like having one strategy, you are going to be in student loan debt. You have to diversify. Just like they say, yeah, you need to diversify your investments. You need to diversify your education, because it takes money to go to college. And you can be the smartest kid sometimes, but if you don't have the money, you can't go to the school. And that's the truth. So you can't just talk about going to college and not talk about the money aspect, right? Because that's what they're talking. They're literally talking about. They're not talking about grades. They're not talking about the admission problems. They're literally talking about the money aspect. Like, come on now. So trends in average net prices over time tell a different story. The average cost of going to college was rising at least since the mid 1990s. I did my research on that. And back in the day, of course, like I want to say like 70s, of course, 70s, 60s, whatever. Don't quote me on that. It's in my paper. Now you can pay for college with no problem, like part-time job. Crazy, right? Now that thing just started. That thing is like college tuition has outpaced inflation, as I always say, but it has outpaced like the percent is crazy. I think it's like a 200, 300% return, like a 2 or 3x. And yo, your money, like your salary on your job has not even did a 200, 300x. So the only way you've been keeping up with this if you are invested in the stock market. Disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Just saying. Like the only way you go 2 or 3x or 4x or 5x your money like that is in the market. So as we keep going, they said the drop in average net prices over the last decade stands in stark contrast to the public's perception. They talk about the net prices. That's like my financial aid person coming in right there. Excuse me. Ouch. We like to keep it interesting. So as we keep going, they're talking about is this jargon? Yeah, this person talking about how they conducted their research. They did with my intuition. So despite having the highest sticker prices, the highest sticker prices, private institutions with very large endowments are the least expensive option for low-income students. That is what this article is saying. Despite having the highest sticker prices, private institutions with very large endowments are the least expensive option for low-income students who are admitted and enrolled. Now, remember, if you are a low-income student, do you have the resources to get into that school? I'm just going off the research. That is what the research says. I'm all for like kids applying to like these schools. Like I told them when I went and spoke to some kids recently, hey, apply to these schools. It seems like the bigger schools the schools that got money, like a Yale or Harvard and stuff, hey, apply to them schools, especially if you claim not to have any money. Apply to the schools because apparently you get more money, as they said in this highlight right here. This guy who wrote it, let me scroll to the bottom because not me. I'm quoting him in this aspect. That's what he says. Philip Levine, that's what he's saying. So He's saying, like, look, you low income, you go to a school with a large endowment, you gonna get paid, bro. Now you gonna get paid, but hey, school gonna be little to nothing for you. But then there's another problem. You read these articles, like I read in school, and they're like, oh, kids on low income are more likely not to go to school. They're more likely not to even apply. They're more likely to. So, what are we talking about right now? See, you can't get to one thing without solving it. You got to solve the first, then go to the second. Like, it's kind of like baseball. You can't get to the third bag on base without getting the first and second. Like, what are we doing right now? Mark good? Yeah, we straight. So, just saying. They say net prices charged to those students at these institutions are in the vicinity of $5,000 per year. That amount typically is based on anticipated student earnings during the summer and school year through work-study funding with no expectation of payments from parents. So that is good. This is definitely like, this person sounds like they know a little bit about financial aid or something, but they definitely speak in the financial aid language because I see that so much. And so it's interesting to see that. But right here, the relatively small number of lower income students who enroll in these highly selective wealthy institutions, though, is often the cause of concern. Didn't I just say that? I didn't even read that part yet. I just said that though. Because I read the research. The research, that's what research says. That's what it says. So it's like you're saying that, but it's like, how many really get into these highly selective schools? Come on now. They talked about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, how that he had connections and getting people into school. Apparently, y'all got, if you understand this game and how the game, I'm not saying that it ain't political. This game is political. This game, you're gonna need some money. There's always money. You're gonna need some political counterparts, and you're gonna need some brain power. You got the brain power, everything do the rest usually, but you have to notice stuff because you're going to get so sad and down that you didn't get into this school, right? Fresh out the gate, when honestly, the person who got your spot only got in because their parents had the money. And there's nothing against you. Like, you did everything right. You did sports. You had a great GPA. You've had the highest SAT, ACT scores. You did everything right. But just because you didn't get in does not determine your life. Like I say, you make the school. The school is just giving you resources so that you can expand and do research, expand and make new friends, expand and make a culture, connections, and start a business with these friends you met in college and start a life with this husband or wife you met in college. That's what the college is really there for, a community, people you relate to. The college ain't the reason why you the smartest person in the world, or hopefully to be one of the most intelligent people to start this next big business or whatever. Like, the college ain't do that. College provided you some resources and instructors, some outstanding instructors, who want to pour back into young minds and like help see you go further than them. Because that's what a real true professor is about, making sure you go way further than them. And your professor probably didn't start a business. Respectfully, they didn't. But they understand like what it takes and how you should go about it so you can go do it, because they preferred to sacrifice themselves to be with their family. They didn't want to go that route. Something, just what my professors told me over the course, Wise people, man. Wise people. Can we look at this? Oh my goodness, all these cookies. Oh, it's an article. It look like is it a scholarly article? I'm showing y'all my college skills a little bit. I don't know. It's a journal article. I don't know if it's scholarly though. Because they talking about SAT scores. Okay, not me. Okay, shout out to this person giving me books. Okay. So as we keep going, let's fast forward. It's some good information, great information. We haven't even got through the halfway of this yet. So with that being said, we're going to skip through some stuff. And then this is, if you want to go find this article and read it more, you can. It's called "Is College Becoming Less Affordable?" An Update by Philip Levine. You can come through this and read this if you want to. It might hurt your head, respectfully. It speaks in higher education terminology. It'd be some things in here I'd be like, this jargon. I don't really need to know that. So, but some of this stuff you do need to know. Like some of this stuff you probably be like, what's a FTE? But you don't really need to know what that is. That's just full-time equivalent. Like you're a full-time student. That's all a fancy word is saying. So I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to just jump to something and I skipped through all of that. So is college becoming affordable, less affordable? I'm gonna say no. And they got numbers in here, but go through the numbers. Come back and see me. Let me know what you think. This is a scholarly look. I did not know it was this long though. They say affordability is difficult to define, but it is not declining. I would say that I don't know. See, that's difficult to say, right? Because it's like he got all this information. I'm just gonna say something. But shout out to the author. Wish we had the time to go through the whole thing, but we like keeping engaged, talk about some things, go through it. But feel free, Brookings. I never heard of Brookings. It seems like it's pretty good. They talk about housing affordability. You're going to see me do this right here, right now. I'm going to add them to my higher education research. They are when I did that, they said they're independent. Like most things, talking about college and stuff is independent. But I don't think they focus on college. They have articles on higher education. But as you can see, they're talking about the danger of war in Iran and all this other stuff. Texas determine which party controls the Senate, all this political stuff, but they try to keep their independence. So if you already heard of it, let me know what you think about it. I never heard of it. It's my first time. So what we got? Let me see. I think I got a video on LinkedIn to show y'all real quick. Oh, and the last one said we might review your dream school. Respectfully, we might. And honestly, I am good with the 57 minutes. I'm going to go on LinkedIn real quick for you guys, though. And then if I don't see anything that I feel like is worth it, we will stop there. And we chopped it up pretty good today. No, I don't see any videos from LinkedIn. And then, yeah, we're live. Yeah, I ain't seen nothing too crazy on LinkedIn. Actually, we got some stuff let me show y'all this real quick. I actually just got that. Hold on, y'all. No video yet. Like, yeah, that is it. All right, just want to make sure. Sorry about that. Where is it? Let me show y'all this. Anytime they post something, this is from the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators. They posted something important, as we already know, if you've been following us. Let me see. Move that over right quick. Let me see. All right. So the Education Department announces upcoming FAFSA system updates related to the OBBBA, which is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. So if you was following, if you was watching a little, or you was peeking a little when we was talking about it, The One Big Beautiful Bill Act has a lot of changes coming to it. Now, are these changes going to be significant? I think it's going to be significant for some people because a lot of people use loans to go to college. So if you come from a family that's wealthy and you don't need student loans, you really be like, this is nothing. This is really, we're good. So they said these system updates will be made April 26, 2026. That's going to be what? That's next month. And then to accommodate the July 1st, 2026 effective date for the new loan limits and expansion of Pell Grant eligibility. And will include updates to FAFSA processing system, FAFSA partner portal, common origination and disbursement system, national student loan database system. So luckily, I have a financial aid specialist. I feel like this was our destiny. Can't wait. We should have him Friday to talk for about 15 to 30 minutes about things like this. So I can ask him stuff about this that could possibly be helpful. And we could share it on a live screen. And I'm just thinking like, where can you get that? But I've been in college for 8 years. I just know back when I was at my 2-year college, there was no higher education videos. Like, guys, I'm just thinking like this is gonna be so helpful. It's gonna be like crash course workshops, and you're gonna get this valuable information from a financial aid specialist. He is a specialist. He is a big dog in this space. And so like you're going to get game on stuff because I'm like a naive person to financial aid. I just like, he was like my backbone with it. And so you're just going to get some information that you can go ask a financial aid specialist at your institution, know about opportunities, go on Department of Education websites, go find scholarships in other ways or grants in other ways. That is very underrated. Because when you get access to information, you feel like, I don't know what to do with that. But you would have never found the website unless he mentioned it or I mentioned it. That's what makes it so valuable. Like, I would have not known where to find higher education articles if I didn't go to graduate school. I only knew like 1 to 3 places to go get information for higher ed articles. Now I know how to go get like 10 plus. And now I know I can go find. The hard part for me is picking what's going to be interesting for you. That's the hard part. That's why I always say shout out to graduate school, shout out to my professors, and then shout out to my main professor. Shout out to my classmates because they're in there right now. A lot of them are better than me. Like they know their own higher ed language in a way. Like everybody got their different style to it. It's not just one way to do this higher ed thing. Everybody has a style to it. And so that's what makes it beautiful. And that's what's going to change the game in higher ed. And they're going to have to, like, the political figures, like the traditional players in higher ed, are going to have to adapt pretty quick because it's kind of going to be like how the stock market is today, where we don't really need the financial advisors. We don't really need to go to brokerage companies unless you reach a certain number, right? But it's going to be the same way with higher ed. We don't really need to like play by y'all rules. We really can do it like this. We really can do it like that. Shoot, it's going to be up. It's going to be really up in a minute. So can't wait for that. Hope you enjoyed the screen. We'll be on tomorrow. We're going to be on actually every day till Friday. Like we'll be on Friday and we'll resume back on Tuesday, like normal schedule. And thank you everybody. And shout out to Alice Marie for showing up. Appreciate you. Yeah, peace, chicken grease. And just don't forget to say, hey, right? So you can't wait for that. Financial aid specialist coming. And just make sure you like, subscribe, and please share this. Just share it. Please share it, like it, subscribe it. Like, please. Peace. Hold up. Wait. I can't say peace yet. Wait. Peace, chicken grease now. I had to say it again. I couldn't hit the end button.